Good afternoon, lace jumping. I'm John, this is Many a True Nerd, and welcome back to Skies of Arcadia, where last time we kicked off our journey by rescuing a mysterious girl with a secret mission and making an enemy of the Valawan Empire, and despite all of that, I am apparently still Vice the Unimpressive. Dear flippin' dear. Still, bare minimum, we've made it home safely, and yes indeed, there might just be an opportunity to improve my reputation right here in my home village. And on top of that, as you may notice right up there, yes indeed, there might be a chance to do a spot of looting too. So how about we, yes, get out of our secret underground pirate base and go check out our beautiful, lovely home village. And the moment we step outside, Ike has got something to say. So Vise, go on ahead. I have to stop by my house for a second. Why, what's wrong? I just want to freshen up. Don't worry, I'll catch up with you guys in a few minutes. See you at your house, and... Okay, this is a really cocking weird thing that happens in this game. Ike had just decided to step away for a few minutes, and we'll get into why in just a moment. But, oh, here we go. It's our lovely home village, and... as suits this game, it's just so cocky, charming and lovely, and the music's a delight, and everybody's happy to see me, damn it. Oh, and speaking of my reputation, literally the first person I run into, Barbara here, has got something to say about that. So, it's every air pirate's dream to become a swashbuckler, but you have to do more than sail to become one. You have to live as one in both your actions and your words. Only true swashbucklers can become great leaders, and... yes indeed, there's a lot we can do dotted around the world to make ourselves a more impressive pirate, and as time goes on, that's actually potentially going to matter quite a lot. Also, I would just like you to know at this point that, yes, the next major plot trigger, like, you know, the event that moves the plot forward, is me going into this house over here, which is my house, and introducing Fina to my mum, because this game is just the most lovely, wholesome thing imaginable. But, before we do that, there's a few things we can do around town. Well, number one, I could go and give my dog a pet. Sorry, not my dog, my pal. He's a pal, not a dog. So, you know, just give him a lovely pet, and... I'd forgotten this. Fina's never seen one before. I think she's a bit scared of our adorable purple dog creature. So, oh pal, don't bark at Guess, you're scaring Fina. I'm sorry, he just took me by surprise. He's actually really cute. I guess on your island, you live with other animals. And yes indeed, I guess you don't have pets where you come from. And well, no, not really. Is that unusual? I'm so sorry. Just that everything seems so different here. And okay, having introduced Fina to dogs, very importantly, I believe you, kiddo, are the one we want to speak to next. Hello there, Alan. Vise, whenever I go sailing on a ship, I always get sick, and sometimes I even throw up. Does that mean I can't become a sailor? And here we go, you don't need to speak to this kid, you could completely miss this, but you now get a chance to either reassure him or crush his dreams forever. And naturally, yes, reassuring him is the right way to go. Sure, he might get a bit airsick on occasion, but he can get over that as he gets older, it's all gonna be fine. So sure, you can be a sailor. I used to get airsick all the time when I was small, and after a while, you just sort of stop throwing up, and as a result, Alan is now delighted. I'll do my best, and I'll throw up however many times it takes until I become a sailor. That wasn't really the message I was trying to impart, Alan, but you know what? Whatever works for you. And holy flip me, that was enough! Me telling that small child he can become a sailor means I am no longer Vise the Unimpressive. I am now Vise, the Blue Rogue. Which is kind of just like, you know, my job. I mean, I guess it's not actively an insult, but it does feel like aggressively neutral. Like no one could think of a single nice thing to say. And you know what? As a thank you to these children, I'm gonna play hide and seek with them. Not least as there's a promise of a secret if I actually do it, so, oh go on Jimmy, why not? Would you believe, this island being very small and these being small children, it's not too difficult to track them down. In fact, there we go, there's one behind the laundry, dear oh flippin' dear Jimmy. And I would say Pal's barely even trying, but I'm gonna be honest, like, he's a dog. They shouldn't be expected to be that good at hide and seek, so... yes indeed, Vise was unimpressed too. Apparently yes, the dog needs advice on how to be better at hide and seek. Then around the back of what's in fact Ica's house, there we go Alan, now feeling much better about being a sailor. And then just round the corner, Lindsay round the side of my house too. So, okay, you are all terrible at hide and seek. Like, there's a giant pirate bunker to hide in, and not one of you tried that. And as a result of that, I get access to, yes, the promised secret. You know, the bookshelf in Captain Dine's room, there's some sort of secret to it. I was looking for a book in there one day, and when I leaned on the bookshelf, it sort of moved. Maybe you should check it out, and yes indeed, he's just given me a rather useful piece of information that's going to help me out with my looting. And speaking of which, beyond the gigantic turnip garden, those are some very impressive vegetables in fact, just a mosey over here, we got ourselves a tiny bit of healing from a chest just around the corner. But yes, let's nip back downstairs and take advantage of what the kids just told us. Though you can, of course, you know, figure this out by yourself, and given around the back of your dad's office, it's pretty easy to spot a ladder leading out the rear, despite the fact there's no door there. So okay, mosey on into here, magnificent, have a bit of a poke around with the bookshelf, and secret door, beautiful. And that gets me 150 gold. I'm possibly robbing my dad right now, I'm not sure. The other chest, however, you need to kind of figure out for yourself. So, okay, what we do know is it's up there. Clearly you've got to come down to it from above, given it's, you know, way up by the surface. And meanwhile, the door we actually went out to, yes, on this side, is over here. So we need to find a door on the other side of the island. So just mosey up in this direction and move to the other side of the island. And just around here in just a flipping second, this here gravestone with a rather mysterious line on it, that's the ticket. And I'm fully aware that obviously, you know, the space inside the underground area is vastly bigger than the outside of the island. Like, most spaces in this game kind of operate under TARDIS principles. It's fine, don't worry about it. Probably the moon did it. And that gets us straight back downstairs to another free moonberry. We are now swimming in these right now. So, okay, no rush to spend those for the moment, but when we do, we are going to be swimming in new abilities. I love it. Okay, looting taken care of, there's only one more thing we need to do before introducing Fina to my mum, and yes indeed, that's the rather mysterious case of the missing Ica, because if I go and say hi to my mum right now, Ica will immediately rejoin us. Like, you know, if you run straight from the door to the island to your mother, she'll be missing from your party for about 10 odd seconds. But if you don't rush straight to your mother, there is one more scene you can access in this game, because when Ica said she was going to, like, you know, let her hair down and whatnot, she wasn't kidding. And this is the one point in the entire game you get to see Ica with a different hairstyle. But the only way to do it is basically by peeking into her house, which I am deeply uncomfortable with, and would like to stress that Vise only does by mistake. He doesn't realise he's doing it, and I only show it to you now for the sake of completionism. But yes indeed, if you mosey over to Ica's house over here, and examine this here handkerchief, then we have a look-see inside Ica's bedroom, and once again, clearly, oops, Vise didn't mean to do this. This is a mistake, okay? We didn't mean to do this, but this is indeed the only time in the entire game you can see Ica with a different hairstyle. Unless I'm misremembering something, but I don't think there's any other time you see Ica with her hair down. And unfortunately, Ica detects us straight away. Take that, you creep, completely justified. And here we go. We immediately get whacked in the face, and very much fair enough, let's go introduce Fina to our mum. So you're Fina, it's lovely to meet you, and the pleasure is all mine. I hope I'm not intruding, and don't be silly, it's been a long time since we've had guests. Well, I have to finish cooking dinner, go outside and have some fun. I'll call you when it's ready. So at this point, the main plot objective of Skies of Arcadia is literally go outside and play until dinner's ready. This is just the most lovely game in existence. Oh, and speak of the devil, Ica is straight back in the party, and this is literally the only time in the entire game she needs to step aside to fix up her hair. It's never going to happen again, and it's really bloody weird it happens at all. And rather nicely, while we've been inside, time has indeed been moving on. The sunset outside is beautiful, why don't we go and check it out? And that's precisely what we're going to do. We're going to go and enjoy the sunset together. And straight away we are into this lovely, lovely orange sky, and yes indeed. To enjoy the sunset, we're going to climb to the very top of Pirate Island. And once we get up a bit, you may well notice there's something rather, you know, mysterious floating around nearby. We don't know what that is just yet though. Another mystery will get to as time passes. It's so beautiful. I love it up here. It's so peaceful. I come up here to relax and watch the sunsets. When I'm up here, I often wonder what lies beyond the sky, beyond the sunsets. Some say there's monsters, others say it's a maelstrom that either blows ships away or pulls them in, and they're never seen again. And there are others who just say it's impossible. I want to know what's out there. Besides, I don't like giving up on anything without giving it my best shots. Someday, I'll be the captain of my own ship. I'll go beyond the sunset, and I'll see what's out there. And I bet if you could go beyond the sunset, the sky would look even more beautiful. And this here is just, you know, a very lovely scene of just friends hanging out together and whatnot. But it's also kind of the manifesto of the entire game. That's what this game is all about. The joy of getting out into the world and seeing things and just... oh, this game's cooking lovely. Huh? But more importantly, while we were up here, would you believe we've just caught sight of something? And that there was a falling moonstone. And one of them has struck the nearby island, Shrine Island. And apparently it's been a while since we've seen a moonstone fall. And I don't quite understand, that was a moonstone. And that's right, you've heard of moonstones before, right? They're pieces of rock that fall from the moons. They usually crash land on the islands, they're a really powerful source of energy too. Oh, and finally, we've got something that Fina's actually heard of, at least conceptually. Though yes indeed, seeing them actually fall, that's apparently a new experience. So Vise, are you thinking what I'm thinking? And I strongly suspect so. We should try and recover the moonstone first thing tomorrow morning. So there we go, we've got ourselves a brand new adventure to go on. And perfect timing, it's now time for me to go and have a dinner with my mum and dad. But not before Fina takes a moment to stop and stare up at the silver moon. Tragically, we don't get to enjoy the dinner. Instead, that noise is the resting overnight sound, meaning for once we've got ourselves a lovely free heal. Resting in your own bed on Pirate Island is actually one of the only ways in the game you can actually recover fully for free. And instead, we're moving forward to the next day, ready for our brand new adventure. Though I will admit, Vise, this here might be a good reason as to why you don't have a particularly impressive name right now, because, yes, this is Vise's bedroom, up here, at the top of his house, so if we just go downstairs instead and mosey over into this direction, then I guess we reasonably have to assume my mum and dad slept in one of these beds, and Fina slept in the other, next to my parents. Okay, Vise, the polite thing to do would have been to give Fina your room and you sleep downstairs, okay? And speaking of both my parents, make sure you speak to both of them before you go on your adventure for some very important extra goodies. Because my mum has gone and prepared me a packed cocking lunch with enough for both me and Icar. I mean, officially, the game says it's 2 Sacres crystals, which are just very powerful healing items. I choose to assume they've been, like, you know, powdered and sprinkled on a really nice packed lunch. And my dad's got something great for me too, because yes indeed, take this, it's your share of loot from yesterday's raid, and my reward is a purple moonstone, meaning I can now set my weapons to purple for ice, and on top of that, I could start learning purple magic, and bloody hell, purple magic is good. And contrary to what you might have been expecting, though we will indeed be picking up a new party member in the pretty bloody near future, it's not gonna be Fina. Instead, Fina's gonna chill out here and just rest and relax. She's been through a lot. Me and Ica are heading out by ourselves to get the Moonstone, meaning we can mosey up to the top dock and get going whenever we're ready to move. Though, unfortunately, when it's just me and Ica, I'm not allowed to drive on my dad's boat. Instead, we're setting out on, yes, a much smaller, tiny dinghy thing. So, yeah, apparently I'm still unimpressive enough that I'm not allowed to drive Dad's boat unless he's there to accompany me. Still, there's one more thing we should do before we head out on our next adventure, because Shrine Island is, okay, a big step up from the Valuan ship that was our first proper dungeon. So, step one, make sure we've gathered everything from the islands. Because up top here, we've got ourselves one chest with multiple healing crystals, beautiful. And meanwhile, downstairs in, yes, the pirate bunker, do not forget, there was mention of an armory, which is basically just a shop. So we can significantly upgrade our equipment, especially now we've been doing a bit of looting and got that extra 150 golds. So here we go, right here on, yes, the middle tier of our pirate bunker. We have got ourselves not one, but two shops, a weapon trader and a general goods store. And at this point of the game, yes, we've got nowhere near enough money to buy everything, so we're going to have to be a bit on the careful side here. So we've got an improved sword for Vice, we've got a better boomerang for Ica, we've got armor that, yes, Ica can wear but Vice can't, or alternatively, yes, some solid armor that anyone can wear, or an accessory, because that's how this game works. You've got 3 slots: weapon, armor, accessory. And straight away I'd say the priority is a better sword for Vice, because, plain and simple, he's got by far the best attack stats, so he's going to be the one doing physical attacks more often. So, straight away, my priority, buy a better sword for Vice. And while I could afford to upgrade Ica's weapon as well, arguably that's a lower priority, because Ica really doesn't do many physical attacks, and when she does, they're not that great. Instead, her power lies in doing magic, so how about instead we buy a meditation ring, which would boost her will, impacting how much damage she does with any spell she casts. Those stats at the bottom being attack and defense, pretty self-explanatory, will and magic defense, so how much magic does and how much defense you have against magic. Then you've got chance to hit, chance to dodge, and quick or speed. So, by giving her this ring, we're actually losing a tiny amount of quick off Ica. Right now, she's already got an accessory set that gives her a tiny bit of extra speed, but she's really fast anyway. A meditation ring is going to really help her hit harder. So just to buy that, slap that on her, magnificent. And don't forget to sell those fish we caught, because yes, as I say, that's some nice, easy money, lovely. Which I'm going to take right over to, yes, the general goods store, because in this game, dungeons are very often something of an endurance event, because once you leave home, if you run out of magic and items, you have literally no way of healing yourself. So, yeah, making sure you've got enough items is a very good idea. So, we'll get my healing crystals up to, yes, 10 in total. That will be good. Magic droplets, just in case, yes, Ica runs out of... Oh, hang on. Those are a bit expensive. Maybe 1... and then a curing crystal just in case of status effects. Okay, with that done, and actually, you know what? One more chest before we go. 2 more magic droplets, magnificent. How about we mosey over to Shrine Island and get ourselves a Moonstone? So, on this occasion, our heading is north. There is plenty of, you know, other traffic we can speak to as we're passing by if we feel like it. So, yes indeed, just a reminder from this random merchant ship that there is a Moonstone we need to go and grab if that's what we want to do. Though, that stone is as good as gone. You'd have to be crazy to go after it. Shrine Island is haunted, you know. So, okay, also, a bit of a warning. We may be walking into some trouble, potentially. Still, don't worry about that, just a mosey northwards, and in just a second, that's just, you know, a rock reef on our right there, don't worry about that. There we go, the lovely, lovely Shrine Island, though we've got one encounter before we get there, and yes indeed, now we're out in the world, there's going to be a lot more variety when it comes to the enemies we're running into, and in particular we need to start learning about what element works against what. Like for example, this here, the Marocca. This is basically the enemy that's designed to teach the player about what elements work against who, because this guy's got a really funny trick to him, like many enemies do. Like, you know, huge numbers of enemies in this game don't just have a certain amount of health and do a certain amount of damage, they've all got something fun and interesting that you learn about over time, and the Marocca's trick is it's got reinforced resistances but also reinforced weaknesses, meaning if you hit it with a weapon that's not very effective against it, then you are going to do basically cocking nothing. But hit it with something super effective and the Marocca will cocking melt. But okay, it's time to discuss something very fun about this game, because you might be thinking, okay, John, fine, you know this game, you love this game, you know that about the Marocca, and you know what elements are super effective against its blue typing. But how am I supposed to know that if I'm playing this game for the first time? Because at no point has the game ever told me what's super effective against what, and that's true. And there's a reason for that, because this here is a game from the very last generation of games where they knew for certain that if you were playing the game, you had a physical copy of it. A physical copy that came in a box. And that box also contains an instruction manual, meaning in this game, there is no actual in-game resource that ever tells you every single elemental advantage and disadvantage. Instead, if you wanted to know that, either you just figured it out by trial and error, or you referred to the instruction manual, which was the only resource that told you what did and didn't work. But, and those of you who know this game and know precisely where I'm going with this, the instruction booklet was wrong. The data in the table, which I will put on screen right now, was incorrect. And if you're a smart cookie, you can figure out why without me even telling you. And go on, pause the video, try and figure it out if you want. It's because it doesn't make any sense in terms of game balance. Like, according to the table on screen right now, the yellow element is super effective against 3 other elements, but only not very effective against itself. Meanwhile, purple is not very effective against 3 others, but only effective against 1 other thing, and that simply doesn't make sense. And the reason is, the entire blue column is backwards. Every X should be a circle, every circle should be an X. Yellow has got 1 mistake in it too, and the relationship between yellow and red is incorrect, and silver is not very effective against itself. The chart doesn't acknowledge that, so yes indeed, there was literally one way to know what worked against what in this game, and it was cocking wrong, which I find deeply delightful. So you know what, how about we demonstrate that right now? I'm going to attack the Marocca with Visor's red sword, and this should be incredibly ineffective. Meanwhile, I can't help but notice that yes, there's several enemies on the field right now, so probably a good thing for you to do would be cast a Piri. That at the bare minimum should clear out the gaslings, and as for the other enemy, the Looper. Okay, don't ask questions about the Looper, we'll get to the cocking a Looper in time, so here we go. The Looper does some magic of its own, it's allowed to do that, so that's going to cocking a hurt actually. Loopers are weird, as I say. We'll get to cocking loopers. So here we go. Moons give me strength indeed. A giant fire attack should completely take out, yes, those bastard gaslings. But as for the Marocca, it barely does half the damage, and Vice only does 28. Enough to finish it off, just. But yeah, 28 damage from Vice's sword is cocking nothing. Which leaves us with just the Looper, which took no damage because Loopers have got ridiculous magic resistance. They also have a really good dodge, so my chance of hitting this guy is pretty bloody limited actually, but we'll give it a go. What we're also going to do before we even do that is change over to purple. I want to be learning some purple magic, so yep, just go for you. Ica, do the same, go for him, though there's every chance he's going to try and run away, because loopers are just a strange, weird ghost creatures. But we'll give it a go and try and take it down. And straight away it ran away because that's what loopers do. They're just dicks. But bare minimum, this should be just enough to get Ica leveled up, which is magnificent. Also giving her more magic points. Her will goes in the right direction too. Her quick goes up. Lovely. And we're also moving towards learning our first purple spell. So, okay. Let's mosey over to Shrine Island right here and figure out what's going on. Because, as I say, this is our first proper dungeon, and in this game, dungeons can be vicious endurance events, and there we go. I think we figured out what happened with the Moonstone. The Moonstone must have caused that. It must be huge, and look, waters are flowing into the shrine. In the old world, this island was a sacred place. These ruins used to be some sort of temple. No one's been here for generations. And I've heard stories of this place too. I've heard there are monsters crawling around inside. And not just monsters, Ica. Ghosts too. Don't forget the ghosts. But Moonstone's that big a rare. We've got to go in and get it. You know I can't pass up a treasure hunt. So, okay. We're going in anyway, but as I say, this is going to be a fair whack trickier than anything we've done so far. But yes, indeed, just a mosey along the path here, and straight away, you'll notice this might just be, more than an ancient, abandoned, crumbling ruin. There's something going on up top. A weird, wobbly thing. So, in we go. Let's figure out, precisely what we're dealing with here. Because if we just step forward and have a look-see round, yes, as we probably should have expected, the place is entirely bloody flooded. And the Moonstone is right at the cocky bottom. And straight away we've got a choice, so we can try and swim to the bottom or find a way to drain the water. And unfortunately, Ica can't swim, and also that Moonstone looks gigantic and heavy. So yes, that's not a good idea. Ica's not for it. Instead, we need to drain the water. For now, though, there's basically only one thing we can do, and that's follow, yes, the only path around the outside of the dungeon, which is going to lead us somewhere very, very interesting indeed, and quite possibly into some of the nasty critters who have taken residence inside this ruin. Speak of the cocking devil, here they flipping come. So, yes, these are going to be new enemies we've not seen before, and two loopers. Cocking hilarious. Like, when you see this many loopers, you kind of just hope they're planning to leave. Because otherwise, they're going to try and nuke you with Piri. So, a great big alpha storm would be great at dealing with all these creatures, but they are sufficiently dangerous that, yes, I'm just going to toss another Piri out there. Though we are immediately burning magic points dangerously fast. Now, officially, red is actually not very effective against blue, because, it's kind of fire versus water. But it's not much of a disadvantage. It's like at 10%. Some of the elemental effects are actually really, really big. Like the interaction between fire and ice is massive. That's a 40% swing in either direction. But yes, some of them are relatively minor. This is one of them, so okay. I just want to, take out these lovely snake creatures. There we go. But yeah, literally nothing to the loopers. Vi, see if you can get lucky. One of them's running immediately. That's good. And you are doing an attack. Okay, that's rare, but sometimes you'll do that. And straight away, yes, we just missed because his dodge is ridiculous. The bare minimum, yeah, them attacking is good, because then that might trigger a counterattack, and counterattacks can't miss. So, okay, we'll go for you. We'll just go for more attacks. We'll see if, and nope, he's running away. Loopers are delightfully weird, but if you can kill them, they give you a lot of gold, a lot of experience, and some really amazing drops too. Still, for the time being though, yes, the only path leads us upstairs, straight to that weird wobbly crystal. So, okay, there's literally nowhere else to go. May as well interact with that, and as it turns out, it slides in there, and the ruin comes to life. Like, I guess we reasonably assume that was some form of battery or something, because all of a sudden, yeah, the temple is moving. The orientation inside just changed, and also do not forget the giant golden treasure chest over on this side. Just a bit of healing, lovely. And now as a result of that, the layout of the path inside has just changed, and that's not the only thing that's changed either. This ruin now starts to come to life. You may notice, there's little flickery things. And as you walk past them, they light up. And this here is one of the biggest mysteries I have always cocking wondered about with this game, because you might immediately look at this and think, okay, we're running around the dungeon, we're making things light on fire. Like, it's a video game, that's a good thing. Light all the things, and something happens, and you can indeed go out of your way to light every single thing. And if you do, as far as I'm aware, nothing happens. But knowing this game, there's probably just a secret I never discovered in 20 cocking years. Still, what I'm going to do on this occasion is, keep everyone on purple, because purple actually works well against blue. And I'm going to see if maybe Ica's basic attack is good enough to do some serious damage to a Moroka with the benefit of his reinforced weaknesses. So, here we go. Okay, nothing, but he was guarding at the time. There we go. Avi's doing some much better work there. And you run away immediately, so that's all absolutely fine. But yeah, once this fight is over, I think by the looks of it, we might just have the ability to learn some purple magic. And, okay, you, sir, are doing a lot of cocky guarding right now. Stop guarding and accept your defeats. There we go, he goes down. Vice hits level 5, which is magnificent, and... just for a second, it did indeed say Spirit +1. And that's a huge cocky deal. As is the fact that I could just learn Crystali. Because yes, indeed, as we just mosey on, lighting up these things and keeping on our way, stepping back outside to what used to be the front door out of the temple, but now, because the temple is, sunk into the ground and whatnot, instead leads to a path underneath the temple, and this lovely walkway right here, because, seriously, this game is just gorgeous. Yes, as we enter a brand new fight, obviously, there are unique enemies out here, including a gigantic fish. You've got to love a gigantic fish. Now Visor's got Spirit 2, not 1. We're gaining 3 Spirit per round, which is a lot cocking more and gets us up to more powerful spells, more powerful super moves, a lot cocking faster. Oh, and perfect timing given what I was saying earlier, yes, the Grouder, an ice-type creature in purple, meaning he is extraordinarily weak to fire. So you know what? I'm going to put Vise over to fire right now. We'll attack you, and I'd say now would be an excellent time for a Piri. We'll get to your, Crystali in just a second. So obviously you get the first hit in, which is magnificent, and this should do some beautiful damage. 162 versus 74 and 74, and another 105 off a basic attack here. Though this guy does hit bloody hard. There's the counter to finish him off. Lovely. Though the Maracas were just able to take it because, yes, water creatures resist fire pretty well. Though we've been bloody lucky with the counterattacks here. But yes, Maracas, their big thing is defense. They are very, very defensive. Still, just use a couple of basic attacks to finish off these losers, and yes, this may be the first time we've had split magic experience coming in. If one character has one element set on their weapons and the other one has another, then, plain and simple, the magic experience gets divided between them. So, Ica also levels up to level 5, beautiful, but she does not gain Spirit +1. She has to wait a bit longer to get us up to 4 points per round. Still, keep on keeping on, and yeah, do just keep an eye on your character's health on occasion, because slowly but surely, it is going to get worn down. Like, as I say, dungeons in this game are something of an endurance event, because there's no healing between rounds, there's no healing at all, unless you're using items or using magic. So, oh, well, this is bloody convenient. We've got ourselves, yes, an ambush here. Sometimes you'll show up and the enemies will be facing away from you, meaning you get a free move at the start of the fight. Sometimes you'll be facing away, suggesting the enemies ambush you and they get a free attack. So, if this happens, honestly, best you can do is just do a double focus, because that means going forward, you've got a cocking ton of spirit. So, we'll just do that, be flipping beautiful. Vise, you go over to, how about green? Learn some green magic. Marvellous. But at this point, okay. You attack the Moroka, and Ica, you Alpha Storm in this direction, because there are two enemies standing right next to each other. Vise happens to draw the first attack there. Mag flipping magnificent. Moroka goes down, and here we go. One ridiculously badass Alpha Storm hitting every enemy in a line, which should do a good amount of work there. Good work, Ica. Leaving only one gigantic fish that's going to do its own magic, Panica, which is going to try and confuse Ica, which might make her attack Vise if it works. And yes, indeed, Ica is now confused. However, we get very lucky and it immediately fades between rounds. Good. So, in which case, just a go for you, buddy. Honestly, Ica, just guard. That's absolutely fine. Vise goes in for the Cutlass Fury, and don't worry, if you get bored of watching the anime nonsense, you can just skip it. Job done. Still, just keep on keeping on, and yes, our job now is basically to loop around the outside of the ruin in order to open the doors that have got water behind them to slowly drain the water out. So just mosey over to here, give that a poke, then run out of the way very, very fast indeed, and there we go. The water level now drops inside the main room, meaning we can now keep looping further and further down. Lovely. So here we go, just one more door needs to be opened, and at this point we've got a handful of choices, and I'm trying to remember which the correct way to go is, so I can go, like, you know, the other way. This feels like the wrong way to go to me, so it's the direction I'm going to go in first, damn it. And of course I'll be making sure to go out of my way to light every single thing up, even though I have no idea if it even cookie does anything, but screw it, I feel like testing it out anyway, because one of these days, maybe something good will happen if I light literally everything on fire. Who cocking knows, eh? So back outside, loop around, help myself to, you know, various bits of... Was this the cocking right way to go? I'm increasingly concerned this might have been the right way to go. I don't want this to be the right way to go, damn it. I'm supposed to be, you know, trying to find some treasure and whatnot. It's all fine, there's plenty more things to light up. Never mind, I did find some treasure. Good. It's just a mosey over to you. More healing items, just to, you know, help you along in case you're struggling a tiny bit. Oh gosh darn it, this was definitely the right way to go. Okay, I'll be right back. I'm going back to, you know, the flipping previous area to make sure I get all the side goodies. And on the way back too, we've also just about hit level 6, so yes, just a tiny bit more power, tiny bit more everything, and Vise bothered to learn some healing. Which is actually kind of useful, because yes, healing magic can be cast outside of a fight, and given Vise is never going to be using magic in a fight, he may as well just convert his magic points into healing the team. Anyway, back downstairs to, yes, where I went the wrong, or to put it another way, right way. Just to make sure we light every single lantern, because one day I'll figure out, you know, why there's some all the way out here, in the middle of nowhere. Still no cocky clue why. Hopefully the comments can, like, you know, let me know or something. And I'm pretty sure I came all this way back just for this. You know what? One moonberry is cocking worth it. So hang on, just to confirm here. This should be every single light lit, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's every light lit. What does it do? I have a no cocking idea. Here we go. We finally cocking made it, and you kind of know you're outside the boss's room because the game is, bare minimum, kind enough to leave a save point there. So, yeah, this here, this is where we were trying to get to. So, before we do anything, Vise, you're going to be, yes, getting an Ica up to absolute cocking full strength, please. Lovely. And Ica's got 2 magic points left. Not great, but it's probably enough. Especially as, you know, let's just say that Crystali I've been very purposefully not showing off so far. Oh yeah, there's gonna potentially be some good utility for that in just a cocking second. So the water drains away, brilliant, the plan has been successful. And in we cocky go to go and find the gigantic moonstone. Beautiful. So we finally made it. That wasn't too bad. But look at the size of the stone. It'll be an adventure and a half just to get it back outside. So over we go. Give it a poke. But we're not alone. Vise, those rocks, they're cocking moving. And indeed they are, because it wasn't just the lights that we turned back on. We've also reactivated an ancient cocking security system, and now we've got to fight it. So here we cocky go. We've got to take out the boss of the area, who does not want us stealing what he believes to be his cocking moonstone. And he's a bit of a tough cookie if you don't approach him carefully. So okay, always a first step first. analyze your enemy, make sure you know what you're dealing with. He is silver aligned. Unfortunately, silver doesn't really come with much in the way of weaknesses or resistances. This entire thing is, it's pretty much neutral against anything. So Vise opens up with just a basic attack, and as for Ica, it's time for you to use Crystalli, because in just the same way that in the game, fire is super effective against ice at doing damage, and ice is super effective against fire as well. They're kind of in, like, you know, a mutually destructive relationship. The actual way the spells work is opposite as well. Fire is an explosion that hits everybody for a tiny bit of damage, but ice is a powerful spell that only hits one target, making it perfect for dealing with bosses. So we're going to try out both of them and see how it goes, because on top of that, you may notice, Crystalli is incredibly cheap, costing only a single spirit. So we'll open up with that and see how it goes. Ica gets to go in first. Beautiful. So we just basically shove an icicle up his arse. Magnificent. 152 damage. Not bad at all. Vise can only do 80. And he just activates target search. So this is kind of like, you know, the boss that asks you to really carefully watch for any sign that the boss might be about to do something catastrophically dangerous. If he target searches, would you believe the right option is just to guard for that turn, which isn't, like, you know, a complete waste, because it just means the next turn you're gonna have a way more spirit to play with. But unfortunately, I don't know who he's targeting. Like, if you want to play risky, guard with one character, keep attacking with the other. I'm not taking the risk until I see how strong he is versus my characters. So just guard and guard. And here comes the blaster. Looks to me like, yeah, that was going for Vise, and even with guarding, it was 170. But, bare minimum, this means all of a sudden we can crack out the Cutlass Fury and also the Crystalli, though, okay. Unfortunately, that's going to be Ica all out of magic points, so possibly, yes, I should have used the magic droplets on her. May have underestimated that a little bit, but this is going to be a damn good round. Here comes the Crystalli. Good, solid 150 damage there. I mean, you can see the impact. And in comes Vise for the Cutlass Fury. And I do generally just, you know, let these play out when we're dealing with a boss, because why not? One big Cutlass Fury, 200 damage. Good start. Solid start right there. We're making an impact. But as time goes by, yes, we're going to literally be worn down. Like, Ica now can't use magic anymore. So just do another double guard right here. Blaster is going for Vise again. Ica may need to heal him in future. We'll have to flipping see. So, yes, more damage there. Vise is looking a tiny bit vulnerable. And, of course, the danger of doing normal attacks is bosses can counterattack too. So just be a bit careful. Like, super moves and magic can't miss, and also can't be counterattacked. That's the danger of just using normal attacks. But we'll go in and see what we can do. And yeah, Ica, you just drop a focus for the time being. Though, should we drop a heal on Vise? Not just yet. We should be okay. One focus is okay. So yeah, that's going to get us up to 10 out of 10 next turn. And he is just going bananas with target search, which kind of works for me. Because, yes, for the time being... Oh, there's the counter. Okay, this is not so good, actually. Right, now I've done this badly because, yes, now I've got a giant pile of spirit that now can't build up any further. And also I can't heal Vise this turn because Ica's got to, you know, do her guarding. And you just focusing on... Right, just continuing to... Hang on, did you just give up on using Blaster? I'm not sure I've ever seen you do that before, but fascinating. Right, just keep on him with the Cutlass Furies. Ica, I need you to drop a quick heal on Vise just for safety here, alright? This is going pretty smoothly, but we've been lucky with, yes, how the Sentinel has chosen to fight. Like, he's basically just been doing target search over and over and over, and not bothering with most of his regular attacks, which is kind of convenient, actually. So, Vise, we'll just skip your attack there. Lovely. The music has gone over to victory mode. You are looking a bit on the battered side. Keep it going for you. We are now completely out of magic points for poor old Ica. Though, we could Alpha Storm, to be honest. Sure, why not? That's probably going to do a fair whack of damage. Like, you know, even though it's kind of for a line of enemies, it's pretty strong at just dealing with, you know, enemies in general. So you know what, Ica? Crank out your badass attack and see if that works nicely, because very often it does. And if nothing else, it looks amazing. Well done, Ike. You're bringing the style today. Okay, everybody just attack. Whoever gets to go first, they get the kill and the glory. And on this occasion, it's Ica. Well done, Ica. So, like every other boss in the game, he just suddenly explodes because everybody explodes, and we're done. That was pretty smooth, actually. And obviously, being a boss, we get a giant pile of experience. Lovely, lovely, lovely. So, more health, more relevant stats. Lovely. And on top of that, a giant pile of magic experience, another Moonberry. We are swimming in those, so don't you worry. I've got a plan for spending those very soon indeed. And of course, a pile of gold too. And with the Ancient Guardian down, now our priority is getting the Moonstone back to the ship. But, okay, let's just say, while we've been doing this, other stuff might have been happening elsewhere. Oh, but first, Vise and Ica need to do their incredibly naff secret handshake. Because, obviously, they've got a very, very naff secret mega handshake. I love them. And here we go. Meanwhile, back at Pirate Island. There's the bell. Time to get to work. Gotta loosen up a bit first, you know, very important. Gotta do your stretches, etc, etc. But unfortunately today, as he peers behind him... Oh no indeed, Ben the Lookout. I think you're in cocking trouble, mates. Ships approaching from the north-northwest, distance 1.5 leagues. And it is indeed the Imperial Armada with a full battle squadron. And on top of that, they're in attack formation. And that very much means they're not here to cocking play. So straight away, fire rains down on the island. And tragically, who could have seen this coming, but my peaceful, idyllic RPG home village is being attacked by the evil empire. Everyone underground, women and children first, hurry up and Dine is, you know, doing the right thing, being a good leader, almost getting nuked by a cocking ship over there, but he's okay. And on top of that, can't help but notice, there's a rather special extra fancy ship over there. And that flag, that's the flagship of Gaussian himself. Lord Gaussian, we've blasted the island with cannon fire, and our troops have begun the invasion. Good. They seem very organised for a small village that's under siege. I don't know who their leader is, but he seems capable. Maybe Alfonso is in over his head. No matter. It appears the fight is over. Retrieve the girl, and bring her to me. Capture the air pirates too. We'll need to interrogate them when we return to Valois. And be sure to destroy their ship as well. And if they resist Lord Gaussian, what does your excellency wish me to do if the situation arises? I don't think they're foolish enough to resist. However, if something should happen, burn the village and kill them all. Let their bodies rot in the sun and leave one of our flags to set an example for others who may defy us. So yes indeed, things are not going well back home. So probably best we get Vise and Ica back there as soon as possible. And yes indeed, the island seems to be rather on fire. And the lovely jaunty music that was here last time is most definitely not playing today. And they even broke the windmill. What a bunch of dicks. And they even cocking blasted our turnips. Okay, you just made it personal, Valois. But yes indeed, as we stand in the smouldering ruins of our home, how about we call it a part there? But next time, well, obviously, we need to search the island and figure out who's okay, who's wounded, who's still here, and who's been taken. And once we've done that, obviously, the next job is figuring out how to get them back. So hopefully, you join me next time for that. But in the meantime, I've been John, this has been Many a True Nerd, and this has been the wonderful Skies of Arcadia. Thank you very much, and goodbye. If we just hide the bodies, nobody needs to know about this. Yes! My stupid plan has worked! It turns out I'm a genius! The giant rad scorpion is not gone! Oh, hang on, there's more yet though, I'm still being very shocked. Guys, where's the NCR? Nobody needs to know.